The core components of a VM is a hypervisor, the virtual hard drive, virtual processing, and virtual memory. So businesses can leverage the usage of virtual machines in a number of ways. And some of the ways that businesses can leverage the usage of these VMs is, say, for example, if a business requires to use additional memory, requires a software or a program that needs to run on additional memory and additional processing power, which as at present the organization doesn't have. So the organization can actually create a VM which has additional processing power and additional memory and the required RAM, as opposed to buying the physical hardware that has these additional requirements that the software that the business wants to run has. In this way, the business is actually saving on costs, because this actual hardware will cost more than renting uh, s- uh, the VM space, renting the usage of VM. On most platforms, VMs are just rented. So organizations in this way will leverage the usage of a VM as opposed to buying the actual hardware that's required. Another way in which businesses can leverage the usage of VMs is, for example, if an organization wants to run a software on a machine, or they've created a software that they would want to test. They want a test environment for this software that they've created, as opposed to running this software on the actual computer, of which they don't know how this software will react. Will it actually work? Will it cause damage on the computer? They would rather run this software on a VM, which, if it were to crash, it wouldn't be that much of a problem, as opposed to this software actually crashing on a physical computer that the organization is using. That is another way in which organizations can leverage the usages of VMs. VM organizations can also leverage the usage of VMs in circumstances where the organization is required to store its data on an for as backup. The organization can actually rent space on on a VM that is located away from the organization, and then this data can be saved as backup on the VM that's located outside the organization. In the event there was something that's a catastrophic event were to happen in an organization, this organization can still retrieve the backed up data that's stored on a VM. These are ways in which I believe the organization can leverage the use of VMs as opposed to using the actual hardware. Thank you so much.